Hello and welcome back to my channel of free trade analysis. If you are new to my channel, I am Vajji Kazmi and I do regular analysis for you guys so you guys can have intraday trades for good profits and you guys do not miss on any opportunity that market is giving to you guys. I am giving you trades on a regular basis. So if you are new, kindly subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon so you guys can receive regular notifications from my end. So now let us do analysis of USDJPY pair first. And first of all, let's have a look at what we discussed yesterday and the were those trades executed or not. As you guys can clearly see that the chart settings are same, and we gave you this buying opportunity if this area was respected, but this area was not respected, and then we gave you a selling setup if this area was respected, and we would have gone short over here. Okay, so the profit that we would have made would be approximately, let me just take this trade for you guys so we can have an idea that our profit would be approximately 2.2% from this trade. And if the another trade we gave to you was if market enters this area of resistance and market closes below this area, and still we would have made a good profit till here. So another opportunity, another selling setup would be approximately over here. This would be our stop loss, and this would be our take profit level. So this is a good 1.5% profit. So approximately 3 to 4% profit was made from the two scenarios that were executed for us. So and now let's resume with our trading and let's see that what market has in store for us. So I'm going to remove these drawings so we can put new scenarios in place so you guys can have a better idea. So as you guys can clearly see that this area has not been tested, so I'm expecting this area to be tested again. And another important area is this area. As the market is testing this area, I'm expecting this area to be broken, and if you are a risky seller and you can sell if this area is broken at any given point of time, and if you are a risky buyer then maybe you could go for a buying opportunity from any of these areas. So let me just move these buying setups like this. Okay, so what do we have? Our areas, our support and resistance areas are gonna remain same. So I'm going to mark this area as an area of support as well. So let me just assume that if this area is tested again, then maybe we can go long something like this. And if we are a risky buyer, then maybe we can just simply go long something like this. If the market closes above this area, so what we can do is that, and similarly if we see that market enters this area and market respects this area, then maybe we could go short. So what we can do is that we are going to wait for any one of these setups to be executed. Okay, so let us see and let us just wait and watch that which of these setups comes into play first. So another scenario that might come into play would be that if this area is respected. Okay, if this area is respected, then maybe market will go short straight away. And if we are a risky seller, then and market goes below this area, maybe we can go short straight away as well. Okay, so these are the possible scenarios for USDJPY. Let us have a look at the 4-hour chart if we have anything new. No, we do not have anything new in the 4-hour chart as well. So let us just wait and watch that what market has in store for us. Okay, let's go back to the 1-hour chart. Okay, so these are all the trades, all the possible trades that can happen tomorrow. So let me just push these lines further so we can have a better idea. Okay, so now the support zones have been changed a little as well, and this is a new support zone. So if the any of these sports zones are tested twice and makes a double bottom, we can go long from any of these sports as well. Okay. So now let's move on to the next pair, which is Dow Jones. Now let's try to analyze this pair and let's see that what it has done for us since our yesterday's analysis. When we were discussing this pair, that the market was over here, and we gave you a trade that if market closes above this area and respects this area again, we can go long from here. And another setup was given that if the market goes and enters this area of resistance, then maybe we can go short from here. And you guys can clearly see that when this area was broken, market gave us good profit till here. And another setup was given that when market enters this area and closes above this area over here, this arrow clearly shows that if market closes above this area, maybe we could go long and we could have gone long from here. We could have made good profit till here. And after that, we gave you another selling opportunity if market enters this area and market retests this area. As you guys can clearly see, the market entered this area and retested over here, and then market closed below this area, so we could have gone short over here. Another selling opportunity was that if we could have gone short straight away from here. So let me check that how much profit did we make. First of all, let me check if we would have entered over here, then the amount of profit would be approximately till here, and our stop loss would be approximately over here, so this would be a 2.4% profit. And if we would have sold on this candle, then our take profit would be approximately 4.5%, which is huge once again. And if we would have taken a buying opportunity from here, so that would give us a profit of approximately, let me just check, 2%. Okay, so this would be a good profit as well. And if we were a risky seller and market closed below our area or below our area of this support, then maybe we could have made some profit from this sell as well. Okay, this would be something like this. Okay, so let me push it a little up. Okay, so as you guys can clearly see that even this area was respected. So let me just open 15-minute chart and you guys can have a better look that if we would have gone short from here, then we could have made profit till here as well. So let me just check that if we would have gone short from here, the profit would be approximately 1.5% profit. Okay, so these were good trades that were executed on this pair as well. Now let's go back to the 1-hour chart and let's see that what market has in store for us for tomorrow. Okay, let me remove the previous drawings that we made yesterday. And now let's make new setups for tomorrow. Okay, so the Dow Jones also gave us some good profit. So let me assume that Dow Jones is gonna continue doing so. Let me just open the 4-hour chart if I have anything available in recent. Let me open the 1-hour chart. Okay, and the 15 minute chart. Okay, so over here, what do we have? Let me remove this. And now let me open the 1-day chart to check if I have anything available in nearly from this area. Okay, so what I am assuming is that now another new area would come into play, which would be approximately this area. This area would come into play next, and this has already come into play today as well. So if tomorrow this area is tested, then this area would be our area of interest for tomorrow. Another support area would be approximately over here. Okay, so let's just wait and watch that which area comes into play first, and we will trade accordingly. This would be our third area of interest. So let me just go back to my 1-hour chart and let me assume that what could happen tomorrow. Let me remove, okay, no, I don't really need to remove any of these setups, as at any given point of time, if these setups come into play, they are still valid. So I'm going to move the arrows over to the next area so we can have a better idea as what the market is going to do with us. Okay, so you guys can clearly see that the market is following our areas. As you guys can clearly see that this area is not being tested, so I am going to take this area to a next level, something like this. So I am assuming that this is another area of interest. Okay, so what is happening is that the current area that is being tested, if the market closes above this area, then I would recommend this area and this pair to be bought tomorrow. And if somehow market just does not follow this pattern and market tests this area and market closes below this area, then maybe we can go short in this pair. And on the other hand, if market simply just closes below this area, then maybe we could go short straight away. And on the other hand, if we are going to look for a further buying opportunity, it would be something like this, that if market enters this area and market closes above this area, then we would look for a good buying opportunity. Okay, so and another selling scenario that might come into play would be if the market closes above this area and market tests either this area first and market closes below this area, or if market just tests the area above this area. Okay, so any of these setups, this setup could come into play. This is our area of resistance as well, so I'm going to make it in red color. Okay, so these are the possible setups that could come into play. And thirdly, if we are a risky buyer, then maybe we could just simply go long if market closes above this area. So we have to be vigilant about that as well. Okay, so now let's move on to the next pair, which is DE30. Let us check that what market has in store for us. So if we were a risky buyer, we would have made some profit. Let me just see that how much profit we could have made if we were a risky buyer from here. The amount of profit would be till here, and my stop loss would be approximately over here. So this would be a 1.2% easy profit. And another buying opportunity would be, yes, when we were discussing this pair last, market was over here, and we gave you the trade that if market enters this area and market closed above this area, then we would go long. You can clearly see over here that market entered this area and closed above this area, then we would have gone long over here as well. Buying opportunity was here as well, so I assume that our take profit would be approximately just below this line. So this is a good 5% profit from this trade as well. Okay, so selling scenario that was executed was that if market closed below this area, then we would have taken a selling trade. Okay, so the amount of selling trade would be upon a retest. As you guys can clearly see that the retest happened over here, and this would be our stop loss, and our take profit would be approximately over here. So this would be a 1.1% profit. If we would have taken a risky selling from here, then we would have hit our stop loss. Okay, so now let's assume, let's check that what market has in store for us tomorrow. Let me remove the previous setup so we can have a better idea as how to trade tomorrow. Okay, all the other setups are still valid, so I'm not going to remove them or move them. So let me just stretch these a little. Okay, so if at any given point the market enters this area and go and closes above this area, we are gonna go long. Okay, so now let me assume that how are we going to trade this pair? First of all, this would be a buying opportunity, and on the other hand, if market closes above this area and we are a risky buyer, we are gonna buy this pair, something like this. But this is highly unlikely to happen. What we can see is that market to test this area, and if this market closes below this area, maybe we can go short straight away. On the other hand, if I mark a very extremely short term stop support, which is this line, so and if this area is broken, then maybe we can go short straight away, something like this. So these might come into play tomorrow, and if at any given point the market enters once again over here and market closes below this area, then maybe we could just simply go short straight away from here as well. So let's just wait and watch that what market has in store for us. Okay, so now let's move on to the next pair, which is Bitcoin. So when we were discussing yesterday, market was over here. We gave you a trade. If market respects this area and closed above this area, we would have made a huge profit. Market, as you can clearly see, market respected this area and closed above this area. The amount of profit would be approximately 2.5, or this would be a 3.2%, and this is a great profit. And on the other hand, if you were a risky buyer and market closed above this area, then maybe you could have made a small profit if you were a risky buyer as well. Something like this. This would be 1.8. No, this is a lesser trade. Okay, so approximately 0.8% profit from a risky buying opportunity. And the selling setups never really came into play except this setup, which we clearly mentioned that if at any given point market enters this area and market closes below this area, we are going to look for a good selling opportunity. And you guys can clearly see that short position was happened over here. So if I put my stop loss, uh, if I assume and I put my stop loss just above this candle, then my take profit would be approximately 1.47. So, okay, so these are good profits that we had taken from these two pair, this DE30 pair as well. Now let's try to see that what market has in store for us tomorrow today. So, okay, so let me remove all the previous scenarios. Okay, so now as you guys can clearly see that almost in every pair the market is respecting our calls and market is respecting our lines as well. So now let me just give you a hint that if market enters this area, then we are gonna go long straight away. Okay, and this in turn we have now found a new support line, which is this. Okay, and this is also acting as a short-term area of support. So, what do we have in store is that if the market checks this area and market closes above this area, then maybe we can go long from here. On the other hand, if the market just closes above this area, maybe we can just go long straight away. And for resistance, if market tests this area and market closes below this area, maybe we can go short from here. Okay, and on the other hand, if market is closed straight away below this area, then maybe we can go short straight away. Okay, so these would be our setups for Bitcoin tomorrow. Now let's move on to the Ethereum. As how much profit did we made in Ethereum? Okay, so let me just check. Okay, when we were discussing yesterday, market was over here. We gave you a trade that if market respected this area and closed above this area, then maybe we could go long. And the amount of profit that we would have made would be approximately from here till here, and this would be our stop loss. So this would be a good 2.3% profit. And then we gave you a selling scenario. If you were a risky seller, you could have made profit from here twice, once in this trade, and the amount of profit would be approximately 1.5%. And another selling would come into play if you would have taken a trade from here. Okay, so the profit would be approximately 3.4%, which is huge as well. Okay, so even the Ethereum setups were executed. So our crypto analysis also worked out beautifully. So now let's assume that what could market do with us tomorrow? I'm not going to remove the setups that have already been marked, and you guys can clearly see that this area is now going to act as an area of support. So, in terms of trading, let me just move these candles to further. Okay, so these areas are still in play, and I'm assuming that that market would gain some momentum and it would go up a little. As you can clearly see, this area has been taken out by these candles, and it has also retraced quite a bit. So I am expecting the market to go up a little. And if you are a risky buyer and market closes above this area, maybe you can go long from here. And if you are a non-risky buyer, then maybe you can wait and go long from here. Okay, so these would be good long opportunities. And if you are looking for a good selling setup, then if the market enters over here and market closes below this area, then maybe you could go short from here. And if you are a risky seller, then maybe you could go short straight away if the market closes below this area of resistance. Okay, so these would be our setups for tomorrow for Ethereum. I hope you guys would have liked our videos and our analysis. Now let's just wait and watch that what market has in store for us, and we will be back with more videos and setups tomorrow. Good day for trading to you guys, and if you guys have not yet liked and subscribed my channel, then please do, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so you guys can receive regular notifications from my end. Okay, so that's all for now, and see you guys in the next video. Thank you.